I'm just going to say, I'm a tit man. All right? I like tits on women. Hello, everybody. Terrence Popp here with another episode. Live from the Lair. And my apologies, gentlemen. This one's going to probably be posted on Friday. Blake is on holiday with his family, visiting in-laws in the great state of Texas. So, you get me. All right. On the clipboard of woe, I received about 24 requests to cover the Carolyn Flack suicide. Now, I just want to put this out there. Suicide is not a good thing. Picking a permanent answer for a temporary situation is never a good idea. Okay, my heart goes out to her family and immediate friends who are dealing with this tragedy. With that being said, let's move on. All right, so apparently she was one of the announcers or women that was involved in this show, Love Island. Or she was a host of Love Island. I've never seen the show. It doesn't sound good to me. It doesn't sound like a bunch of love. It sounds more like a bunch of lust and, what young people do, which is, whatever, but it's not love. All right, that's just my opinion. All right, so apparently she decided to allegedly bounce a lamp off of her boyfriend's head while he was asleep. All right, now let's say that again. Boyfriend was asleep. She allegedly clocked him in the head with a lamp when you're asleep. Apparently, the pictures of the crime scene were very disturbing, and quote unquote from one of the officers stated it looked like a horror movie scene because scalp wounds bleed. If that really did take place and you're asleep and somebody hits you that hard, quite feasibly, they're not trying to just hurt you. You're probably trying to get you to kick your air addiction. Furthermore, the recordings from the 999 call, apparently that's what they call in England, whatever, works for them, that's fine, who am I to judge? With quote unquote, she tried to kill me. All right. And then the police arrived and she had to be restrained. All right. Now, I've watched a couple of the media clips about this on YouTube. There's a lot of people who are saying that, maybe, they shouldn't mention the perpetrator, the victim's name on the media, and how CPS was, working or operating beyond its bounds. From what I saw, what happened is exactly what would happen to any person who commits domestic violence. All right, and what I'm hearing here is they want to have now two sets of standards. Like when a man does it, he's just going to get slammed, ran through the ringer. Everyone, the mother's going to know he did it. But when a woman does it, we have to have kid gloves and treat it all different. Okay, that's bullshit. All right, first of all, I'm not a fan of domestic violence. I really don't see any, need to tool a woman up for any reason whatsoever, unless it's self-defense or maybe the protection of a loved one. And it's probably about it. So, if it gets to the point where you actually are contemplating doing that, gentlemen, do yourself a favor and break contact and jettison yourself from that situation, because It's not going to take you anywhere good. All right, now let's see. Yeah, the media is now attacking the system in regards to her suicide, and everyone is all, shocked and upset. Okay, well, first of all, it's a suicide. Sucks. But, hey, the feminists built the laws. The laws are supposed to be applied unilaterally, and that's exactly what happened. And apparently, the individual involved in that, I guess she wanted to punch out. Sorry, shit happens. What are you gonna do?
Would you ever fuck a zombie?
Bad Pop's got bad news. The end? It's extremely fucking nigh.
You can't kill something that's already dead.
And the only thing standing in between you and a horde of the undead is toxic masculinity. Weh? So hold on to your butts and get set for Red Days. Get your copy on DVD or Blu-ray on Amazon today. A link is in the description, bitches.
It's a right provided to them by the Queen.
Fuck her, she's a whore.
All right, guys, I know you're like, hey, Pop, what's on the board behind you? Well, okay. Gentlemen, this is, man-to-man talk. And I'm just going to say, I'm a tit man. All right? I like tits on women. I'm a heterosexual dude. And, I have been reeled in many times and clubbed over the head. And the bait was usually a nice set of tits. Okay? In fact, every single time. It took me a long time until the big head overpowered the little head. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that again. So here we are. First of all, women, if you're going to get mad at me because I'm objectifying you,
you need to shut the fuck up.
I am just stating what goes through virtually every normal man's brain pan when a new set of dials and pegs enters the room. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Number one, a majority of men out there, this is very important for them. All right? You'll get a couple of those guys like, it doesn't matter. Packages, what's a package? Yeah, whatever. Next, we come to augmentation. Internal augmentation. That's where they get the lift and tuck and they move, nipples around and add, implants to make them bigger, firmer, what have you. Now, I am not really a fan of that per se. I mean, I'm not going to turn it away. But if you're young and you want to have kids in the future, doing major things to those, organs basically will ruin your chances of breastfeeding in the future. That screws everything up. All right, next we have external augmentation. All right, now how many times, gentlemen, have you heard, I want a real man? Okay, here we go. All right, so not only do we have to deal with fake nails, fake eyelashes, wigs, the color of their hair, put on a boatload of makeup, but now they're augmenting the dials and pegs in some very sneaky, underhanded ways. One of those ways is the push-up bra. Or, if you're going to use the French word, a colletage. Okay, that means tits on a platter. Look it up. Okay, that's done with a corset, or now they have all these fancy, bras that do that now. I don't know. Maybe they're bionic and they have motors and bells and whistles. I don't know. I'm so long out of the game. I don't know. All right, then you have the fake bra, the water bra, something that makes it, that makes them look more visually appealing. And I did a video on this particular subject when I dated a woman who only had one breast. The other one basically was going to be put back on, but she had caught a MRSA infection while getting breast implants. Very, Very shocking. When it's something like that, you gotta give a guy a little upfront notice, man. It's very shocking. All right, then you have the old trick of just like, stuffing the bra. Who wants to? You get in there and you're pulling out paper and what? Come on, stop it. All right. Next, and this is relatively important to some people, not really to me, but we come down to nipples, which are the pegs on the dials and pegs. All right. Some guys like them when they're long like Swizzlers and you can tie them in a knot. And I personally don't really like that. You have the long, the fat ones, what have you. Okay. Some guys are, very, picky about that. Well, to each his own. Next, you have the surrounding sundials. Dials and pegs. Sometimes you got to tune them in, if you know what I mean. That's the pop code. I think I talked about it in my very first video. Pop Culture or Popular Mechanics. All right, now, there's a thing that goes on here with some women where they get a whole bunch of hair on these. And it's no longer like, the dials and pegs or a nipple. It's more like a zipple. Okay, listen, dudes don't want to get their teeth flossed when they put their mouth out and about around that thing. I'm just saying. All right, next, we have firmness and texture. Are they firm? Do they stick straight out or they point to the ground? What's going on? All right, are they lumpy? Now, there's some gentlemen out there who are younger who have had to fall on the grenade for their buddies and deal with the roomy woman. She probably has this issue going on. Lumpy tits. Some people are texture eaters. Some aren't. What are you going to do? All right, then you have the stringy ones, which are nasty. It's like, grabbing a bunch of cold spaghetti with a cherry on the end. What are you going to do? And this usually leads to some scenarios like the Laffy Taffy, where they can throw them up over their shoulder, touch them behind their head. The beagle ears, they got to roll them up and stick them in the bra. Say, look good, but the bra comes off and they come right down. Pancakes, very similar to beagle ears, except they're not as big or long. Then you have the tobacco purse with nipples at the end. Basically that's one of those women who likes to suntan all the time and just cooks her skin to the point where it looks like an old tobacco purse. Exactly the way I described it. All right, next we have presentation. I have seen many a woman, all right, put on some of the best dresses that just accent every curve of their body, okay? And it drives a lot of men crazy. It's a bunch of camouflage, gentlemen, because when you unzip that zipper, it all goes to shit. All right? And gentlemen, you leave your comments in the description. Okay, I'm just being honest. Okay, presentation. Okay, some women are great at doing this. Some aren't. But I don't know, they basically, a majority of them come right out of the box knowing how to do this shit. Number 9. Are they used up fun bags? All right, now, if she's middle-aged, older woman, she's had a couple kids, you could basically assume that those things have seen a lot of mileage. So you may or may not want to pop the top on that. I'm just saying. Women hit the wall right in their early to mid-30s, and it's all downhill from there pretty much for everything. And finally, number 10. Women say this all the time. Size matters. Sorry. Some guys like to have women with nice breasts, like C/D cup kind of scenario. All right. And in fact, most of the guys I know like that. All right. I know a few that are ass men who really don't care about the upstairs as much. They can get by with an A or a B. another thing in regards to size. Okay, if the waist size is big and the tit size is big, it kind of negates the purpose. All right, men like the curve. They don't like the trunk. All right, now ladies, don't be mad at me. I am just telling you the thought process of a majority of the normal dudes out there. It is what it is. All right, we're going to move over to the other board here, and we're going to go through some pictures for you guys out there who really are not into reading. Hang on. And I'm giving you a visual depiction of what you guys are going to run into out there in the real world when you, sample the merchandise, if you know what I mean. We're going to start off here at the top. Normal breasts. All right. They look straight at you. Both of them are uniform in size. And if you should come across a pair of those in the size that works for you, you should probably lock onto that and try to hold on to it as long as you can. Providing that she's not going to pull the pin on the fat grenade and you're going to wind up with a model like, her mother, because a lot of times all the guys want the woman with the long legs and big tits. Well, that fat grenade will turn it into big legs and long tits in no time flat. So you got to be careful. All right, now I've seen this a few times. It's not a big deal to me. Some women are very self-conscious about it, and that's when you get the lopsided, effect. Like I said, to me, it's not even a speed bump. I really don't care, if it is what it is. And ladies, if you have this going on, you can always accentuate something else or bring some cool points to the table. All right, because those go a long way. All right, if you were cool, guys will look over one of your messed up tools, if you know what I mean. All right, next, I mentioned it here before, the beagle ears. All right, that's when they go right for the ground. They get skinny and what have you, and they're just like envelopes of skin hanging there with nipples, looking at the ground. All right, this is indicative of having some mileage on them. It is what it is. All right, now, there's another class out there, the big floopy ones, them that kind of hang off to the side. I know lots of my buddies who love that. Okay, they love that. They're cool with it, and I personally don't mind it myself. But I'm just saying, ladies, if you have this going on, don't be too self-conscious. It's not that bad. There's a lot of guys out there that are going to jump on this, if you know what I mean. And over here, we got the snake eyes. That's basically nothing. All right, now I've known a couple women out there who were ultra, endurance athletes, rode bikes, swam, did Ironman competitions, and so forth. And I just couldn't get into it. All right, that's just me. You can call me self-conscious if you want. That's just fine. Doesn't matter to me. I just couldn't do it. All right. But some guys like that. It is what it is. Bottom line, ladies and dudes out there, just be honest with what you want and be honest with what you have. And if it doesn't work out between somebody for one of these reasons, then just move on to another person. All right. You're going to find the pegs that fit in the right holes, and it's all going to work out, all right? Just don't get all self-conscious about it, because it doesn't go anywhere good.